Hello, thank you for tuning in. This is the Spectre of Anti-Blackness. As you probably know, my name is I'm the host of the show, as you probably also already know that. And this is a little unorthodox. This is off the schedule. Um, I know right now we're going through the Underground Railroad, which is great. Having a great time with that. Good show to get back into, to watch again, to kind of talk about and digest. Um, So that's great. But Atlanta, new season 3 of Atlanta has just dropped. And I just finished episode 1, and goddamn, I gotta talk about it. For those of you who don't know, which I assume is all of you, because I haven't said it yet on the cast, Atlanta was is my favorite show. Um, Made by Donald Glover, who's my favorite uh artist. I like his music, and you know, I was really into Donald Glover back in the day. Like I read his screenplay, and I don't know, just that's beside the point anyway. Um, yeah. So season 3, episode 1 of Atlanta, Three Slaps. I believe both episodes are dropping simultaneously at 12 a.m. tonight. So maybe I'll watch episode 2 on Hulu. That's not a sponsorship, by the way. Um, and it's, well, again, I wouldn't call myself a stan, but I do really like Donald Glover and all the work he does. I can't really say that I like him as a person because I don't really know him, and I'm really hesitant to like be a fan of any celebrity because I think just the idea of celebrity in general is corrupt, and anyone who is in the business and making it in the business, there's just like this nagging voice in the back of my head that's saying there's some shady shit that you don't know about that you probably don't approve of. So I'm quite hesitant to even call myself a fan, but I do enjoy what I've seen of his so far. And I do know that the industry, like it's people in it are trying to change it, and trying to not be a part of things that they don't agree with. But again, at the end of the day, I don't know this man or his life or anything like that. But all that to say, what I do know, I like and I enjoy. Um, Regardless, Atlanta's been my favorite show since it dropped in 2016. Went on that long hiatus, uh, COVID definitely playing a part in that. And now seasons 3 and 4 will be coming out this year, which I was very excited for. And it didn't occur to me to podcast about it. Um, but I was just watching the first episode of season 3, and dude, absolutely floored. Like this season, like this is about to be some raw shit. I can already tell. Like, um, I since this is like new and it literally just dropped. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, it's not really something you can spoil. I guess I don't know. It's I don't know how I want to talk about it yet. But in this episode, we are addressing themes of um just all kinds of important shit. Okay, let me just try to gather my thoughts real quick. For one, uh, the school system and black kids in school, and I don't know. I just got so much nostalgia just seeing the school scene. I'll just leave it at that. And the black parents slash caretakers in school. I didn't really have much um what's the word I'm looking for? Experience with that personally, because I didn't really act up too much in school, and also uh my parents were like I guess well behaved isn't it sounds weird to say that, but they fit well into the school system, speaking the white language and that sort of thing. Um but anyway, one of the school lady sees the kid get slapped, um which is just this horrifying thing to her. and it's not the time nor place, or it might be the place, but at least it's not the time when I'm recording this to really get into the uh, reprimand and discipline of children. Um, to each their own. I have my own thoughts about it. But anyway, she decides to call Children Youth Services, and they can't even really investigate the house. And I'm sure if they would have, he would have been able to stay, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know. The system is built against them, and that's something that is kind of touched on as well. But anyway, he goes instead to live with these two white women, um, who, man, I don't want to spoil the story, so I'm not going to go too much into them. But they are very clearly racist, one overtly and one covertly. Like, one's the closeted racist who doesn't really know that she's racist, and the other is very outwardly racist. Or maybe the other one even does know that she's racist, but wouldn't admit it. I don't know. Initially, she seems like the type who, like, is striving to be an advocate for black people, but doesn't know that she's, like, probably the worst thing for, you know, I feel like if these white people who are adopting black kids really wanted to help black kids, they wouldn't adopt them. That's a hot take. I don't know how much I'm really allowed to say on this cast. I don't know what I'm at liberty to say. I'm gonna speak my mind. I don't really care who watches it, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's the whole mom and mom dynamic with the white ladies, and their house, stinks. They can't smell it, of course, and there's dog hair everywhere, and they oh yeah, so at the beginning, um, she's about to start making fried chicken, and the other mom comes in holding the dog, and she's like, "Hey, can you pass me the chicken?" There's so much wrong with this scene, with just the whole house, and I wonder if other people. I'm sure a lot of black people pick up on it, but I wonder if white people who also watch the show can just pick up on, like, everything wrong with his new setting. And the whole time I'm just cringing severely, and I'm like, oh my god, that everything about this is so bad. He needs to go back home. It's terrible. Um, and then there's also this point where they're out in public, and he runs over to a police officer who jokingly says he almost shot him, which is kind of just lampshading the whole police brutality thing. But anyway, he's like, "Please get me out of here. I need to go home." And the officer first looks like he might, you know, listen to him. He might abide his request until he sees that the moms are white, and then he's like, "Oh, he was probably just kidding around." Like, it's unfathomable to the police officer that they're mistreating him. Um, in my own uh understanding, of my own uh idea of it, and I think the idea that the show is trying to convey is that he's in a much worse situation than he was before. The three taps versus everything that he's in now, and again, this isn't about the discipline or physical violence or anything like that. Not get into that. Um, but man, I just he anyway. Let's see, what else can I talk about this episode? It gets really sinister for a moment, and, like, I could really feel the anxiousness and the anxiety building in me as it takes this dark turn, which thankfully it doesn't follow through on, but it's still like, um there's still this underlying gloom, because that there's got to be cases out there where it definitely was followed through on. Um but eventually he goes back home, and he appreciates the life he grew up in, which he never really tried to get out of it in the first place. But it's so, and on the one hand, it's like a tragic story of how, like, he's kind of just like living his life, but then, like, the school intervened in this way, and kind of took him out of that, took him away from his family, and almost tragic things happened. Um, but yeah, boom, that's episode one, and it was a lot, man. Like I was an emotional roller coaster. I was there for it, and laughing. I'm like, I know he said Donald Glover tweeted that this is gonna be like some of the best TV to ever TV. And I believe it. I'm here for it. Um, I won't say my hopes are up or nothing, but like I'm excited to see what comes next. I think I'll just release this as its own episode, and well, no, you know what? I'll um I'll think about it. I'll release it tomorrow. If I don't, maybe it'll also have part two included, episode two. Maybe it won't. Um, I don't even know if I want to talk about episode two, but this I just had to get off my chest because this was like a bunch. So I'll stop it for now, and then if the next thing you hear from me is the little ending thing, then that means I decided not to continue on. Okay, and I'm back. I just finished episode two of season three of Atlanta, and I am not going to review every single episode. I'm not going to review this one anyway, uh, included, because it's a different show than Underground. Like I'm not going to be able to do like a good 10, 15, 20 minutes for every episode. It's more of like a traditional kind of story, and I feel like Underground is not. Um, I'm sure I could like really sit here and talk about every episode in that sort of way, but it's just not really that kind of show. Um, I could like talk about specific episodes. Like that first one was really one that I feel like I wanted to talk about. Also, the one in season two when it flashes back to Ern and Al in school. Episodes like that. But just like the overarching wide story, like nah, I couldn't, not really. I do love the show though, and I did want to make an episode about that first episode. So I did, and if another one comes around that I feel like I want to make an episode about, I will. But for now, it's just gonna be I'm gonna continue with the Underground and the Underground Railroad, and then we'll get into the other things I have planned, which it's a long list now. I've added some things to it. Um, a definite schedule after the Underground Railroad is not in effect yet. But we'll see what happens. We'll take these things as they come. But I hope you enjoyed this quick little special episode about episode one of season three of Atlanta. Was very. I enjoyed that a lot. I think I'm gonna like this season. I enjoyed episode two as well. Um, Again, there are things I could talk about, but I'm not gonna. I'd rather just watch it purely for the entertainment aspect. I've already decided in my brain that Atlanta is good media to consume, so I'm just gonna do that without a critique brain. Um, yeah. Anyway, I thanks for listening. I hope that you have, if you're a person who carries change, all right, just walk with me here. And I hope I didn't say this one before. I know the first two episodes I simply said the same one twice, and I wonder if people listening they were like, "Oh, is that just he just always says that?" But no, it's supposed to be a different thing every time. But then I can never remember what I said for the other ones. Anyway, if you're a person who carries change, I hope when you have your next purchase you have exact change that you can give and you're left with no change, because I think that's a good feeling. Um if you're not a person who carries change, I hope that let's see, you get a nice moment of quiet tomorrow. To just really appreciate life. because it's a precious thing. Anyway, yeah, listen to another episode. Were you still on this one for? I already said I was done like 30 seconds ago. You can leave. Like there's really nothing else at this point. Um, seriously. Why are you still here? What's going on? Okay, bye. Go away.